Hey there guys, my name is Andrew Toronto and thank you so much for joining me on another TRXC video. So today I want to talk a little bit about this whole week and kind of what we experienced, the highs, the lows, and I want to kind of go over some of the news that we also hit this week and kind of like really let you know exactly what the importance is and really kind of highlight some quotes. And I also, most importantly, and please stick around for this because this is a great observation, I guess you could say I had, which is that there is a pattern between multiple stocks that I see experiencing the same exact highs and lows, kind of all being in the same industry, which I think is going to impact essentially TRXC. So because a lot of people might be curious, like, why would it drop with no bad news so hard, so fast? And I think that there was definitely a lot of volatility. And I think there is going to continue to be volatility for some time. So until it gets to the price that I think that it needs to be at. So we're going to experience a lot of volatility, especially in the next coming weeks with earnings, with the investors conference next week, pending a FDA approval. So now that we know all these milestones are out there, it's definitely going to be one of those things where, you know, there's going to be a lot of volatility leading into this, where a lot of price, highs and lows, and I think it's going to be pretty intense. So with that being said, let's kind of look at what we have here. So we see the charts, right? We see this giant dip that happened basically the start of the week, and I mean, there was a little bit of a rise, don't get me wrong, but when we look at here, I'm gonna look at go to the 5-day chart. We can see the pattern we see here, which is kind of like this little slope down into like a little bit of a crevice into an uphill movement. And I think in this little crevice area, I think that's kind of, you know, something you want to just remember when I show you this other graph. So we see this graph, and now let's go to another player and not necessarily in the same boat, but just kind of having the same sort of rapid success. And when we look at this, I think you're going to find it very interesting. But let's say BNGO, right? Or BNGO. There we go. Bingo. So we see right here, remember, yes, it's obviously, you know, from the start of the week, did really well. So it's up about 17% from the start of the week, which is a big hike up in price. But we have to remember that if we were to look at it like this, what do we see, folks? Tell me that doesn't look exactly like this. Basically the same pattern here, folks. You know, I'm seeing double. That's what I'm seeing. So it's something I want to kind of just bring up as we look at these five-week charts and seeing that there are patterns within stocks that aren't even necessarily related. And we look at BNGO, and it's a life science instrumentation. So it's medical device companies, essentially, kind of all falling into that same sort of movement. Whether that's caused by ETFs, whether that's caused by mutual funds pulling out of ETFs, for whatever reason, we just see this ups and downs, and we really have to just be aware that it's not TRXC, it's the market. And I think that's another thing you want to remember, is that like the market is full of individuals who kind of all just do the same thing, right? So what one set of market movers does impacts multiple stocks in the exact same way because they own shares in multiple stocks. So it's definitely something to be aware of and know and kind of keep in the back of your head, just so that you don't panic sell at the bottom or something, or you don't think, you know, you don't go crazy because you know that this is the stock price, but this isn't the representation of the value of the company, right? This is just the stock price, and the stock price tries to give you the right value, but the stock price is made up of people willing to buy and sell things. And people are willing to buy and sell things at very stupid prices on a consistent basis. And that's kind of almost the pillars of value investing at all, which is a huge part of this channel. So enough of that. I do want to go into the news real quickly, and I want to kind of touch base with you guys on what news we specifically saw. And obviously we saw the new training center in the EU. This is off of Finance Yahoo real quick. This is a quote from Anthony Fernando. He goes, "As Transcentric continues to expand our footprint and adoption In Europe, we face a growing need to train European surgical teams on Senhance. So obviously training them is going to be paramount to being able to sell the machines and keep them leased and keep them used in the hospitals. If you don't know how to use something, why would you pay for it, right? You know, if you don't know how to ride a bike, you're not going to buy a bike. So this is very important, a very important step, and an investment. This is an investment, folks. Okay, to train people to use stuff that's not free. They're not coming up to them and saying, "Oh, you know, we would love if we could." No, it's an investment. I mean, they might, you know, there might be some sort of business arrangement worked out where they get a free system or something for training or whatever. I don't know, but specifically, no matter how you look at this, it's an investment within themselves and within the company, and that's what you want to see. If you can see a company that has cash on hand, no debt, and is investing in themselves, we really, really like that company. Okay, we really, really like that company. So, and then going forward, doesn't even stop at that. It also reports a partnership with Amsterdam and the ASC and what was it? It's the ASC is a world-class facility, and I believe that is at the University University Medical Center of Amsterdam. So this Amsterdam University Medical Center is obviously you know, a really great place to get themselves involved, young, you know, kind of just starting, you know, basically minds that aren't stuck in their ways. So it's a really great place to bring that, and I really like this quote from the professor here, who says, "Bringing the Senhance surgical system to the ASC is a major achievement in our vision to be our leading global site for advanced surgical training and minimally invasive technology." So it's definitely a very interesting quote. I really, really appreciate that, and I think that, like, him saying, oh, this too as well, "We believe that the future of surgery will be driven by newer technologies that enable better information guidance in real time. The Senhance combines machine vision technology, learning capabilities," I've read it a million times, "precision surgery, while also seeking to address high healthcare costs. The technology fits very well with our mission." And I think that's fantastic, and I think that's a really, really great peer review, and, you know, something other surgeons may also really love to hear as well. So with that being said, you know, there's a lot of really great stuff happening, but, you know, we went a little bit, you know, what? One step back, 3 steps forward, right? That's how I'm looking at this company. That's how I'm looking at the drop. You know, I'm not too overly, you know, I'm not upset about anything. I'm kind of like, I understand what happened. We saw the correlation between all the other companies. We know there was no negative news outside of some bogus article by Investors Place by a person who has no stake in the company whatsoever, whether that be a short position or a long position. And, you know, that was basically the only one. And the piece didn't even go over all of the really great things. And I think it really highlighted just maybe 1 or 2 negatives, which I don't really consider negatives. I mean, obviously, listen, there's going to be companies that are going to try to enter this field and not do well, right? Do I think ISRG has the hunger or the lust to be the only surgical robotic company in the entire world, and they're going to completely dominate the entire market share and nobody will? No, come on, guys. Like, no, this isn't, we're not thinking, you know, you gotta think right. This isn't Standard Oil we're gonna have here where just one big competitor is going to take all the market share. There's plenty of market share to go around, and I'm very excited, you know, to kind of see how TRXC is going to seize what they owe and what they feel like they can take. And obviously, I mean, you know, we would love for them to, you know, be better than, and one day, you know, be that crazy monopoly. But guys, like, most of the time, you know, these people who are behind these companies, the CEO has to have a massive ambition to really do something like that. And do I see that massive ambition in Anthony? I don't. I really don't. I see ambition, and I see going forward, and I see, this is just from watching and reading, and I see a great understanding of the industry he's in, and a great amount of education specifically for the industry he's in. But no, I have yet to really see, I mean, they haven't been in the position to yet, so, you know, we haven't really been able, he hasn't been in the position to say, like, hey, I think we're going to buy this company, or I think we're going to do something really, really nuts. And, you know, that may come in time, but as of right now, it's impossible to tell. So yeah, with that being said, we're just going to kind of keep our eyes open. Next week, big moves, investors conference, and we have the earnings coming up, guys. We have some really interesting things on the way. Get excited. This is going to be a wild 2 weeks. If there's ever been any. I mean, it's been super volatile this week, ups, downs, times to, dips where, oh, this is the time to buy, and then, oof, nope, I guess not, and that's a little scary, but I also think that there's a lot of, rewards to be had by just staying strong and, kind of dealing with that fear and anxiety, in the best way possible, and just, holding strong. So with that being said, guys, I will see you this weekend. I do have a couple videos I'm going to make about a couple other stocks. I'm excited to kind of get on those. But with that being said, guys, a little bit of a rough week. I'm sure everyone's down this week. Down, obviously, with profits largely on the week, but I'm sure you're up on the month, up on the 3-month. But I mean, right now, I don't think there's any real fear of a reversal. So definitely excited. Let's get ready for next week and enjoy the weekend.